One of the easiest and least expensive ways to spruce up nearly anything is to paint it. But before you take on any project, you'll need to make some basic decisions about what paint is best for the job. Let's start by choosing between latex and oil. Latex cleans up with water, so that's a real plus. It retains its color well and offers good adhesion on most surfaces. Oil hides so well you may only need one coat. Plus it adheres better than latex to smooth surfaces like plastic or metal, and you have more time to apply it before you lose the wet edge. Okay, now that you've answered the question between oil or latex, it's time to choose a sheen or finish. Let's start with flat, which has little or no sheen. It provides a muted appearance and it hides any imperfections you may have in your walls, but it tends to show dirt and doesn't stand up to scrubbing very well. Now eggshell, it also hides imperfections, but it reflects a little light, so it's smoother. It's also easier to wash, so it's a popular choice for walls. Satin has even more sheen and is even more washable, so it's a great choice for kitchens, baths, or kids' room. Semi-gloss reflects 35 to 50% of all light that hits it, so most people find it too shiny for walls. But it cleans very well, making it ideal for trim, cabinets, or doors. And lastly, there's high gloss. It will really call attention to surface imperfections, but it's a good option for areas that get a lot of abuse and need to be cleaned regularly. Alright, one last major paint decision to make: the color. No one can tell you what color to choose, but here are a few tips to make the process easier. The lighter the color you choose, the larger the room will appear, but you may need to apply additional coats for good coverage. Working with one color scheme and mixing in a variety of tints and shades of that color is easiest, but if you feel adventurous, you can pull out certain colors of fabrics or accents in your room by matching those shades. Don't forget, light will have a big impact on how the color ultimately looks in your room, so look at the paint samples at different times of day to see how it changes. Okay, so you've made your choice and you love the color. So how much paint do you need for the job? Take some simple height and width measurements of your walls and multiply them for the square footage. Divide the square footage by 400 for the number of gallons needed for a smooth surface, and divide by 250 if it's a rough surface. One last tip before applying your paint is what the pros call boxing your paint. No, it's not packing up your paint and putting it in boxes. It's pouring each of the gallons into a large bucket so all the paint blends to the same color. This way you won't have one gallon that's a slightly different shade than the other.